Hello. I wanted to talk about Yakuza 3. Me and my partner collect this series, the Yakuza series. And they recently released the remastered collection of Yakuza 3, 4, and 5. And so instead of just going over the new remastered collection that just came out, I figured I'd specifically go over Yakuza 3. And so what I've got in front of me is the US copy of Yakuza 3 on the PS3. This is the first US version. And this is what the front cover looks like. Here's the back cover. You've got your, there it focused a little bit. If you can read in the back, you've got your pictures. The Dragon of Dojima returns. Rated M. There's your spine. And if you open it up, I don't have a manual or anything, it's just a disc. But there's your disc. Looks the same as the cover, pretty much. And it's white on the inside. So this is your original US copy on the PS3. And I want to compare that to this UK copy that I have. They look pretty much identical. Obviously you got your rating there, and then you have that in the corner. But on this copy, it has this little box on it, which, if you can read that, it says it comes with a soundtrack and a guide and some DLC. So if you open it up, well, first, actually, let's look at the back and compare. And right away, you'll see that top line says something different. This one, the US one, says the Dragon of Dojima returns. And the back of the UK copy says Become Kazuma. And the font's a little bit different on the text underneath. Sorry for the glare. Follow Kazuma's journey. I think it pretty much says the same thing there. I think it says the same thing aside from that top line. But yeah, and the pictures are the same. So compare the spines. They're almost the same, aside from the bottom, and the size of the logo. It's a little smaller on the US. So anyway, this is the one I want to open up. Let's open up the UK copy, and you will see right away you've got your game, and then you have your soundtrack that the US did not get. I got this used, so it's a little stickered at this little plastic. But you've got your disc right there, and you can see that it's not white on the inside like the other copy. Behind the disc, you have that little design on the inside. Let's put that back without breaking it. And then you have your add-ons with your code that I'm sure doesn't work anymore. Previously only available in Japan. You've got your manual, if I can get it out. And it's just your typical user guide, black and white. And there's a back. So yeah, the inside it looks nicer, and it also comes with the soundtrack, which is really cool. So I'm gonna put that back. Alright, so we've got our US copy and our UK copy. So the next one I want to look at is the Japanese copy of the game on the PS3. So obviously the cover is quite a bit different. And if you've seen the PS4 cover, that's what it looks like, except he doesn't have a cigarette. And I'll show you that here after this one. But this is the Japanese one. Here's the back. You've got your pictures and all of that. Here's a spine. And all of the Japanese PS3 ones have this black and white look to them, and I think even the PS2 games as well. Let's open it up. Okay, so the inside is white, and there's your disc. And let's see, we've got this right here. This little slip. And let's see. Got our manual. If I can get it out safely. There we go. Alright, so here's our manual. There's the front, back, you've got Haruka. And in the inside, oh, here's the little, these Japanese games always come with this little piece of paper. Yeah, you've got your full color manual with pictures and all of that stuff. It's pretty neat to look at. So you've got that. Let me put all this back. And there's your Japanese copy of Yakuza 3, or Ryuga Gotoku. Alright, so we've got our Japanese, US, and UK. Not in order. So the next thing is we move on to the PS4. And before we got the remastered collection, they released 3, 4, and 5 in Japan individually. And so what I've got here is not the Japanese version of Yakuza 3, but the Korean version, which it pretty much looks the same, except it's Korean logo and text. And all these little symbols, it's the Korean stuff. But let's compare it to the PS3 Japanese one. They're the same, aside from it being in full color, and he lost his cigarette. So, yeah, let's look at the back, compare it. It looks to be almost the same. There are some differences with the pictures. They've changed, looks like they've changed most of the pictures. Yeah, I think there's only a couple of pictures that are the same that I can spot. But yeah. And then let's compare the spine, which, I mean, they're not going to be the same because this Japanese on the left and on the right it's the Korean, but there you go. And then we'll open this up. Alright, so you've got your disc, which I believe is pretty much the same as the Japanese one aside from the cigarette. Okay, and then you've got your little, not really a manual, just a little pamphlet. So you've got your controls and looks like a website or a code or something. And then you've got your little your characters in the game, which is still full color. I think that's really cool. But it is reduced down to a pamphlet. So. And it's not just white. There's, I don't know if you can pick it up here, but there is, it looks like it's his dragon tattoo. See, and there's some codes behind the disc. So I believe the Japanese one is pretty much the same. It's just in Japanese, obviously. So this came out, oh, I can't remember when it came out. I think it was sometime last year, though. I think it was the beginning of last year. I can't remember. Or maybe the year before. Anyway, so that came out a while ago. And we just recently received our remastered collection, which came out digital, what was it? August, maybe? That it came out. And the physical just got released a week or two ago. So take it out. And this came with the Yakuza 5 case, which maybe I'll talk about another time. But here is our physical copy of 3 and 4 on one disc. Which, alright, let's compare it to this Korean one. It's the same picture. Just 2 games on one disc. So maybe we'll talk about 4 another time. But you've got your Yakuza 3 in here. Which I really like this collection. I think it's really pretty. Here, I'll take this out. And I'm not so much going over this collection, just going over Yakuza 3. So, there's that. And I think that pretty much covers it. There's not any kind of manual or anything. All you get is this little pamphlet. It's not a pamphlet, it's a sheet of paper with the warnings and everything. And then you get your sticker. And then this is the US one, and it came with this little sticker on the plastic that I decided to keep. So I just stuck that in there. And then there's an Amazon note because this was a gift. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. And that's all the versions of the game that I have. I think the only one I don't have would be the Japanese one for the PS4. So, which I believe it's pretty much the same as this version. So, anyway, thank you for watching, and hopefully if I get more people to watch, maybe I'll make more of these. Thank you.